Hey guys, Profe Pablo here, Spanish teacher turned Minecraft engineer, here with old Rusty. We are back with the Insane Copper Farm. We're gonna it's already it's already pumping out the zombies pretty quickly. Um Old Rusty and I have got to make some adjustments to what we did. He's gonna walk us through that here in just a second, and then we're going to build the collection system, or sorry, the what do we call it? The transformation chamber. What should we call that?
Conversion chamber.
Conversion chamber. That's what it is. We're going to go through the conversion chamber and then go from there. All right. Old Rusty, let's do it. Take us through this. What did we do wrong last time?
So the mistake we made here, it was my fault, was these top turtle eggs. The reason why these zombies aren't running off right now is because there's not the 2 blocks of air above the turtle egg. So this whole middle row, really, we just need to bust out and raise up by 1. So I will make sure I'm on the right. You could just do the individual, but like it has to look symmetrical or it's gonna bug me.
Sure. Is it just 1 row?
Yep, just the middle one. I'm just gonna bust out all the slabs, raise everything up by a level, and then they will start being attracted.
Sure. Very good.
And then we'll move on from there with the villager.
Got it. There we go. So they have to have that two block gap, right? Oh.
Yeah. Otherwise, the game will. Did I not? Oh.
I just ran a row. Did I do it right? Or did it need to go up one
yeah,
more?
Yeah. No, you did. That threw me off. And then slap
it. Yeah. There we go. Perfect.
All right. And then get my night vision going here.
So we got to raise those turtle eggs up?
No. Let me play with this for a second. Oh, you know what? It's 3. We gotta bust up the 3 rows then.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Here, I'm gonna help. Oh, bust out the 3. Oh, I see. So we're not just busting out the 1 row. We're busting out all 3. Got it.
Apparently they need all 3.
I'm up here messing stuff up. Hold on. I'm just gonna undo what I just did. Oops. There we go. Cool.
Yeah, don't worry. This will not be the first. This will not be the last bug we deal with during all of this.
It's okay.
Just wait till we get to conversion chamber with drowned and zombie villagers.
Oh yeah.
There are some bugs in the game that I never noticed till I did this.
Nice.
And then we just need to slab all this.
Slabbed. Officially slabbed. Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream. We are here working on the copper farm that old Rusty designed. It's pretty cool. And we're getting ready to make the conversion chamber. Okay, so
all right. Let's see here. So one thing to note here, so whenever you have these minecart conveyors, a minecart will not throw out a mob to another block unless the thing's in the solid block to do it to. So that's why these 2 buttons are right here. And actually all we really need is that bottom button. However, so I mentioned before how they want to move at a certain precedence, right?
Right.
So the primary route they want to move is going to be north to from south to north. So what we have to do here is we have to move this over 3 rows to line up with the conversion chamber, with the chunk border where we're going to lay the conversion chamber down. And if you kind of watch, do you see how that one keeps jumping back and forth?
Yeah.
Oh, so they want to move north first, but if they can't move north, then they're going to go back to south. Then they want to go west, then east. What we're going to do here is we're going to take advantage of that. Cool. So the first thing we need to do is, here. So let me get my inventory out here. We have to lay down more activator rails with levers. Get a lever. So the poor man's solution to not using blocks of redstone.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. So and again, oh, you see how I screwed that one up?
Yeah. What just happened?
Yeah.
Oh, it
It's
connected to the
slanted,
other rail. Yeah.
which it's an easy fix, but you got to be aware of how you're running this. So we'll put this back there. I'll put this one here.
Cool.
All
We
right.
got one stuck in this block. Should we take that out? Yeah.
No, just did. All right. So what's going to happen now is you see how they keep wanting to move north, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to give them another option. So we have to eliminate all these other options out.
Okay.
So by blocking that north spot now, you see what's happening?
Wow, they're getting stuck right there.
Yeah, because they have nowhere to go. So let's clear these
Gosh,
guys
that's a
out.
ton of zombies. Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, it makes a lot, man.
That's unreal.
There. So you see how I said they want to go back to south, or like right if they can't go north, they want to go south.
Yes. Yes.
Watch this. So as soon as I put a button, so this is the point where we kind of need to work it over.
Okay.
Here, right? Where is right here? So you'll get a kick out of it. We just got to get it all lined up right here. This is where the minecart gets a little bit tricky while you kind of make it. Let me get a trapdoor here.
Yeah. Buddy Brandon, that's not a lie. He is smarter than me. Buddy Brandon,
I'm not.
That well. I don't know if I'd figure this out, but I don't think I have the patience that you have. You worked on this for quite a while.
Yeah, it was kind of nuts. So what we're gonna do here? No, that's gonna be too high. You know what? Just let it fall out here. Go away. Go away. Oh, they just keep coming.
Oh man, do you mean to turn it to peaceful for a minute or?
Yeah, it'll make it easier, honestly.
All right, let me do that. Let's see. Okay. Done.
All right. So what we have to do here is we have to do a couple things. One is we need to move the zombies over, and we also need to get rid of the creepers, right? So we can take a shortcut here. So this right here, we're gonna get rid of the creepers with that one trapdoor, and I'm gonna show you how.
Yeah.
So we'll put that there. Let me throw the lever on the bottom so it's powered. And this is where it gets oh what? So the I'm trying to figure out a way to explain this right. So
sure.
Minecarts get funny. Right, so that's facing that way.
Yep.
But then we need to be able, let me layer. So we need this here. So I can get one here. You just, like, we have to move them over 3, but we got to play around with this a little bit.
Right.
Here, you know what? Here, let's keep this simple. So the first thing we want to do is we need to move it over.
Okay.
So to do that, we have to block all these other spawn spaces. So this minecart is still going to consider this to be valid.
Okay.
Right there.
Got it.
So we got to put the rail down and then block it off, power it, and then drop a minecart. So what's going to happen now is the mobs are going to come down. They're going to drop one. Because that solid south space is a block higher, it won't consider it valid. So then it's going to start, okay, can I go north? No. What it's going to determine is the game's going to say the only way I can go out is this northeast corner.
Got it.
Right? So we're moving over.
Cool.
So then, and I hate dealing, it's like if there was another way, I would do it.
Sure. We
still need to move them over more. Right, because so our chunk border is going to be, I'm just going to mark this real quick.
Sure.
The slime block is our chunk border.
Got it.
So here we do it again. we drop another minecart. Let me throw a lever on the bottom of that. So what'll happen now is they're going to come out and then they're going to get stuck in this infinite loop while they try to figure out where do I go from here.
Got it.
So this is the point where we have to give them two options. So
Okay.
what we want to happen here is we want the creepers to go north. And we want the rest to just dump out. So let me get this set up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna watch you do this, and we'll see it in action.
Yeah, and I gotta figure this out too, because playing with these mine carts, like it's so sensitive. You have to have them facing the right way.
Sure.
So actually, I want to do that, and then I want to do this, because there's an order of precedence here that it wants to follow.
Yeah.
So what we'll do here is, all right. So I wanted them to dump. All right, move over. Oh nope, I got it reversed.
Why do we excuse my ignorance, why do we want to be on the chunk border again? Does that have something to do with spawning grates, or
Yeah, so the chunk, whenever the game checks for a spawn, on what ends up happening is on the chunk border, it's going to check and say, how many spawns do I have? And then it will check everything within 4 chunks.
got it?
So in the case of the conversion chamber, when we have 16 zombies in here, it's going to look for 16 zombies within 4 chunks. The advantage here is over on that other side is 4 chunks away. So the total that's in that count over there won't count.
Ah, perfect.
So did you see how I got this lined up here?
Yes. Yes, I'm seeing it.
I mean, yeah, okay, but did you see how I did it?
You connected 2 rails and then you put down this other rail.
So as long as you have, right, when you're running south to north, as long as you have 2 rails separated by a spot, it won't count this extra one. So it'll stay on the, right. So the advantage of this here, now that this is laid down, is I can do this. I can put a minecart here, and I can also put one right here.
They're facing different ways.
So they're all, yeah, and they're all still bound, so none of them are going to roll off. Now I have to sit here and power all of them.
Yep.
Now I know you're thinking, what does this do for me? Well, this is what it does for you. So what happens here is we want our zombies to get kicked out here, right?
Okay.
And we want our creepers to keep going forward.
Got it.
So I don't need this one. I don't need this one. Let me grab a button. Yeah, we'll put the button there. So what'll end up happening, and we'll put one here. So what'll end up happening is when the zombies come down, the game's going to do a check. Oh, and you know what? This is where I screwed up. You got to double layer this up. Otherwise, it'll try and throw them out there.
Oh,
so when the zombies come out, it's going to throw them out to the northeast. So when everything gets to here, the creepers are going to see north as I want to go north. And because of the trap door, it's small enough to let them. But, and block that there. The zombies are too tall, so it's going to kick them out here. So put it back in like easier normal.
Okay.
And you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, let's see.
And I will get rid of this slime spot.
Yeah, it's on normal.
Probably yeah, you just got to wait for a spawn tick here.
Yeah.
Like they come in waves. Day down.
I am going to double check. Yeah. Yeah, I put it back on normal. Just checking. Did I see? Okay, I saw a creeper. A creeper made it. Oh, there we go. Creeper, zombie. Creeper. Witch. Oh, yeah, it's working now. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and they separate. That's awesome.
So the advantage, okay, so the reason why like on this side, because this last little bit, this whole thing is mirror image, even the conversion chamber, except for these couple of mine carts, because of the way they want to run. Like when you're doing it on this far side, you have to set it up a little different.
Got it.
So what's happening here is, right, they're seeing the separate sides and see how they're zipping out. The reason why I have two trap doors here is because what will end up happening is a zombie that gets kicked out here will then suddenly see this minecart and get picked up in it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Very
on the
cool.
other side, you have to play around with it more. So we now are completely filtering out here, and watch.
Yeah, they're all coming out right over here. Very cool.
I throw down a zombie. Oh no, what I did there was close the gate. They see the turtle eggs. Well, some of them. And once we throw a villager in, this whole bottom is going to become spawn proof here, right? So you see how they're zipping along and dropping there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So the filter's set up. So what ends up happening now is we have to build this conversion chamber from here. But what I found is the easiest thing to do, let me get it ready, is we need to put in our magma.
Okay.
So let me make sure I got this right. So the gates, right where we put the gates on this side, is the chunk border. So right underneath, we want. This is where they're going to come ultimately, right? Where did I mess this up? Oh, okay. Right. Again, like this is where you get to the sensitive part. So
Sure.
right now, what I've ended up doing is I have them blocked. Right. So they want to come this way.
Yep.
I got to put this here. Put that here. And so we need in the fall. Get rid of that one. I can't get rid of this one because this block right here is holding the minecart in. So we got to come down two more. This is like once the conversion chamber, once I get this first block in here, it's pretty easy.
Oh, sure. Yeah, lining up with chunk borders is always difficult. I want to give a shout out to Jake. Jake, what's up, man? Okay, now are you measuring with glass, or is this part of the conversion chamber?
So I use glass because nothing can spawn on it. So
I see.
They're gonna fall out here, drop down. I need them to fall 2 blocks, right? Because they need the 2-block height to go through.
Yep.
And what will end up actually happening here is I'm gonna go back one, and we'll get back to this trapdoor here later. This trapdoor is gonna come in a little bit later. Okay. So the reason why we have this magma block here is this magma block is where they take their first bit of damage.
Okay.
All right. So what we're going to have here is, so this magma block is, so a zombie will detect a villager within 16 blocks. Yep. However, that counts from the block of the zombie. So this magma is block 1. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This is where the villager's going to go.
Very cool.
But this is where
Buddy Brandon has an honest question. Buddy Brandon, shoot. Go for it. I'll wait for the question. You keep going. He asked permission, though. He said, can I ask an honest question? Wonder if he's going to ask if you've built this in survival, which you are going to, right? You're planning on it.
Oh, yeah. This thing is going to be a pain when you're in survival. All right. And, okay, that's done. Village is going to go right here.
We're using the villager as bait, correct?
Correct, yes. 2 of them, actually. So what's going to... All right, so this is all lined up here. So what's going to end up happening is We got to line all this up. And yep.
Now, are the slime blocks, that's to slow them down because we're going to put them in water and convert them to drowns, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Oop, and again here we hit more complications. The levers. So this is where it gets fun.
Do we need to break these 2 blocks, maybe?
Yep.
Got it. There we go.
All right.
Yeah, they're still moving. You're good.
So the slime blocks, so I played around with honey and slime, and shout out to my daughter Eden. She was the one who came up with the idea of using slime here.
Cool.
Is it slows them down enough, so like you want to keep them underwater as long as possible. But really what we're looking for here is to hit 45 seconds exactly before they fall into the drown.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you shut off the can you put it back on peaceful?
Yeah, I'll put it back on peaceful. And there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do about the witches, right?
No. So you could set up a water shop, but what I've actually found is that they're really not worth the effort. It's such a low spawn. They'll end up either dying in the Trident Killer, or what they'll end up doing is just despawning.
Yeah.
Like I played around with it, but anything I do to the filter out, the witches actually ended up lowering rates.
Okay.
Ironically. All right, so we're gonna do this here. This here.
So while you're building, Buddy Brandon's question is: the farm is amazing, but I'd probably not choose to build it because it's far more complicated than I'd ever feel up to building. Does it scale down to something smaller by any chance? I mean, I guess the obvious scale down is to not have so many platforms, right? Like,
Yeah.
but that's going to affect your rates.
It is. Like this right here would probably give you 70 copper an hour. It really works best on the whole double spawning thing. If you were looking to just build like a drown farm, yeah, this gets complicated because we're using the cave cap, honestly.
Yeah.
Like build golden helmets funnel design. It's really easy. You need ice or TNT.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you want to add to that, that's where this comes in.
Very cool. That's
this,
golden helmets funnel design.
Yeah, Golden Helmet 403 is his name, YouTube name. Like it's a real easy funnel. Like it's gonna make more drown than all this. The point of all of this is like to add to your copper for whatever drown farm you're using.
Yeah, but Buddy Brandon just said that he's not one to judge. He usually builds insanely large builds, so this should be right up his alley.
Well, all I would say would be if someone can come up with a better way to use the cave mob cap, please tell me, because this drove me insane for 2 months.
Okay, I'm liking where this conversion chamber's going. And
okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
And let me put this right here. All my testing, what ended up happening was this is the minimum amount of length for you to consistently convert the groups of drown that are going to dump in here.
All right.
Oh, this is one chamber. So the whole point of this trapdoor, which we'll get to here in a second, is this farm will actually output more than this one conversion chamber can handle. So the driving factor of this is the detection range of the zombies with the villager, right? So what I ended up doing was a copper clock here to alternate this trapdoor being open and closed. That basically sorts it out 50-50 between the first 2 rooms.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. What clock are you going to use for that?
An etho hopper clock. So 2 hoppers feeding items back and forth with comparators.
Yep.
And this whole bottom layer is copied, and you could use honey or slime for this. Oh, no. Put it there, and trapdoor. And again, the point of the trapdoors is what I've found doing all of this is there are a lot of bugs with drowned and zombie villagers for pathfinding two villagers for the bait. So yeah, like it gets pretty bad. So the reason why you have to have two down here is because there's been an open bug report now for 5 years on zombie villages pathfinding. The easiest way around it is as long as the villager they're tracking down is at eye level, they'll keep on moving right along in here.
Oh, okay.
And then
so
zombies. Yeah, and drowned have a thing about how because of the daylight, they will not search out an enemy if it's not in water.
Oh,
so I figured out a way around that, but they have to be at eye level.
Okay.
So yeah. Right, let me. So then in here we do the same thing with the buttons. So let's see here, right here, here, and then we throw one back here. So this water flows pushes them right into the magma. When they hit the magma is when they enter the detection range of the villager.
Got it.
So, and then since they're all 2 blocks high, this starts the conversion.
Got it.
And then we fill this all up with water. And yep, got to control more water flow here. And again, that's where the buttons come in.
Cool.
You know what? I put them too early. There we go. Oh, wow. I screwed that up pretty bad. So, yeah, that's what I get for going quick. So what we need here is...
Okay. Yeah, I see.
So on them in the water. So what will end up happening is that the zombies will convert to drowned. The worst case around here.
Yep.
And by that point, if they don't, you just let it go, and they fall in the tried to kill organ installed lower.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, but this will slow them down. So the individual ones that will come in, they'll be fully converted. And I actually found that once they convert, their speed, even though it's slow on the slime, triples. So like once they convert, it has a pretty good throttling mechanism, ironically already built in.
Oh, cool.
And then where we're gonna put the villagers is not here, because then I found the zombies can jump up a little bit out of the try and kill. Yeah. So really what we're gonna want to put them is on these glass blocks right here.
Okay.
And let me show you how we do that. So in survival, it definitely is going to get more complicated.
Sure.
Yeah. It's a pain, sadly.
Well, villagers are always a pain.
They really are. I hate them so much. So what I've actually found here is if you put a minecart here, and let me pull up the spawn. If you were gonna move in an actual survival scenario, moving the villager up here, it's as long as you set it up ahead of time, you're gonna be fine. I would suggest putting them on a minecart. And then what you really want to do here is let me do this. So bottom end so as soon as you drop that, it's going to break the rail.
Okay. Got it.
And let's close that off. But so he almost gets pushed over.
Right.
So then push him back. And then this is the important thing here. You have to waterlog the villager in the minecart. Let me get this. So no. Oh, it's too slow. I hate villagers so much. All right.
Oh man, I know.
All right. Right. So ultimately, a button has to go there. You'll put the glass. Hold on here.
Saki villager. Yeah.
Hmm?
Guys, here we are. We are working on the copper farm. This copper farm produces really good rates. It's a good complement to other copper farms. Um, we're trying to deal with villagers right now, and they are a pain in the butt. So there you go.
Yeah, so here's the problem, right? Like this villager has to be waterlogged because if he is and the drowned are at eye level, even during the day, they will still try to go towards him.
Right.
But if he's not waterlogged, they won't, and then they will turn around and start walking backwards in the chamber.
Right.
The real problem here is what we're going to do now is cram another villager right beneath him, but you can't spawn him in because the game sits there and says that the blocks are too high.
Right.
So, and getting him in there in survival, you can. It's just I have practiced this part in survival. You have to have some patience. It is aggravating because with the rail down there, really what you want to do here is right. So flowing water will break the rail.
Yep.
Well, it's going to push him off anyway. And so now he's in position. And so then we'll cut off the water flow real quick. Let's see, right? Lined up. Drop a block there. And there. Yeah. All right. So this is the fun part. Throw a button down so the water doesn't keep flowing, and then we have to waterlog this one too.
Okay.
I hate villagers so much.
Here
Yeah.
we go.
It's a little tedious getting this done in survival.
Sure.
So to everyone, I apologize. There's no better way to do it.
Sure.
So the bait is now. So if you actually turn it back on like easy or normal,
Okay.
and we can watch this kind of happen.
Let's see it happen. All right. It is back on normal.
And the reason I put the buttons open the magma is just so they don't start bubble columns accidentally, because otherwise that'll start messing up the walking of the zombies as they go through this.
And we want them to get injured on the magma. What's the purpose behind that?
So any mob that is more than 32 blocks away from you and your AFK point is 32 blocks. So the conversion chamber is block 33.
Yep.
Every random tick, they have a chance of despawning. If they take damage, then they can't despawn for 30 seconds.
Ah, very good.
So yeah, and some are already coming down.
Here they come.
So we don't have the clock set up yet, so the bottom layer is not going to be used.
Right.
And we'll set that up here in a second. But so you can already see how they push each other forward.
Yep.
That's hence why we have to do the split chambers. But that should be enough that they're not going to start getting in the way of each other here.
Yeah.
Just kind of watch it for a second, and you'll see what happens. You can see them already starting to shake.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, and so without having the split here, right, some fall, which is to be expected.
There's one. There's another. Right. Wow, that timing's awesome. Look at that. I'm loving that. Very cool.
So I guess we'll set the. All right, so that's done. The only thing really left is the Trident Killer and the clock.
Okay.
So in the case of shuffle stuff around here real quick. And you want to use glass for all this because what you don't want to happen is anything spawn down here. You
Sure.
do not want to make any available spawn spaces. However, redstone can't travel through glass.
Right.
So this is where we kind of set up. And so one thing you also want to be aware of here is where your fence posts are. And we'll go over this. Like you got to clean this up a little bit, right? Up here, theoretically, we have to throw extra fence posts all up along this way to cover all this area down here.
Oh, I see. Got it.
Right. And also you have to slab it or cover it with glass so nothing can spawn on any of these spots. And oh, my bad. I'm sorry, Mr. Creeper. There we go.
Oops.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be careful with this and double check everything. So this is the point where the clock is going to go. Let me get enough room to do it.
Sure.
So, are you familiar with an Ethro hopper clock?
Oh yeah, I use it all the time.
Let me get the stuff together to build one. Comparator, redstone, sticky piston. I know I'm just standing here. I'm going through my creative menu right now.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, my favorite timing that I've used an Ethos clock for is for a bone meal farm, using the moss. The turning on and off of water like perfectly timed so that it gets the moss out of the way and then gives it time to convert. It's fun. I originally found out about the Ethos clock when I made an animal feed timer. That was set to exactly a minute, so I'd know when to feed my animals to breed them again. Yeah, that's something we have up on Java. We get to feed our animals every minute.
All right, here we go. So I want to do this here.
For those of you who haven't used an Ethos clock before, what we're doing is putting two hoppers going into each other. We're going to put items in them that go back and forth between the items and trigger between the hoppers and trigger the redstone. Cool. How many items do you put in?
2. No. Okay. Oh, I gotta drop this a level.
Oh, you're fine.
See the lever?
Oh, yeah. And we can't move that one?
No, because it's powering the redstone. That's easy.
Got it. Man, these zombies converting is awesome. The timing of it's great.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time running hours-long testing on like what was the optimal number of slime blocks.
Sure.
Far more than I cared to remember. All right, so we'll do that. And yeah, you see the witch there.
I see her.
I just let the witch do its thing.
Okay.
And the witch is either going to be despawned or shoved along by the zombies in there.
Yeah. Well, that works.
So what I end up doing, all right. So I need. Let's see here. We'll feed off of that. You know what? That might work. All right. So I'll do that. To here. What is powering now? Why is that powered?
Because of the redstone block that's connected to.
Okay. All right. So, you know what? I'm gonna throw 2 trapdoors in there. So 2 items. Doesn't matter.
Oh, very cool. And that divides the zombies 50-50.
Just about. Yeah. 3 slows it down. Just kind of watch them as they start. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. If you use one item, then what ended up happening is they'll all go to the bottom because the trapdoor will like close and open in the middle of them being halfway through it.
Sure.
And 3 kind of starts gearing towards the top. So once you're over on the AFK platform, whenever you get a big search, because I found that even with all this, you'll have a significant length of time where nothing will spawn, but then they spawn in the map court.
Okay.
And this kind of alleviates that problem to push you up to about 2.5 stacks an hour.
Oh, cool.
And if you look, the witch there is just the witch can try all at once, but the zombies really want to get to that villager.
They're gonna push her along. Hey, it's
Yeah,
free.
and then
free
once
sugar.
they convert,
Cool. Oh man, look at that. Oh yeah, I noticed they go a lot faster once they convert.
Yeah, and so the advantage here, and you'll end up like it's all right because it's timing based. It all just depends on when they fall in there. But
Right.
the zombie villagers, no matter which one they go in, they're gonna move at the slow zombie pace, unless they have a zombie convert to a drown behind them, and then just start shoving them along.
Sure.
But if you don't have these two at exactly the same block vertically, then what will end up happening is the villagers and drowned are going to try and target whichever one is closer, and then everything just falls apart.
Got it. Okay, so
from
next
there,
is this is going to be the kill chamber, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
And the only thing you really concern yourself with is that they fall far enough that they can't get to this guy. So I take it down 2 blocks here, and then what I've actually found is I Golden Helmet on his drowned farm. I use his funnel design because it's just great.
Yeah.
Or his Trident Killer. It's just like the right pace.
Okay,
Get
cool.
my inventory.
Now I'm curious.
So don't need this. Need observers. Piston. All right. So let him fall 2. And then his thing is that. So then this is going to go. No, wait. So it's that way. Okay. So when you're setting this up, you want to make sure that you have your kill chamber like be completely over the chunk border. So spots over there. This is the chunk border. All right. So cool.
Dark Meteor, welcome to the stream. Dark Meteor, when I do my tutorial for this, I'm counting on you to do my supply list for this bad boy. Dark Meteor's the one who always does my supply lists.
Oh, is he the one that's been always doing it?
Man, he gets it every time. He steals it. What do you want me to turn it back to peaceful, or are you okay?
Yeah. Go ahead, because
Okay.
they're gonna keep falling in here while I get this set up.
Right.
So, he has a very. Let me see here. All right, there we go. So he actually managed to work out the perfect water flow mechanism. Like it's just you'll see it. It is a work of art, honestly. This Trident Killer has easily become my favorite.
Yeah.
All right. So from there. He died. Ah.
And now are you waterlogging the pistons?
Yeah. Oh, and forgot the side. And there we go. This will all make sense in a second, I promise you.
Yeah, I'm curious to where the observers are going to go here.
Okay, so what's going on here is this is basically our flush chamber, right? So even
Okay.
as these pistons move around, the water flow is always going to be pushing out here. The reason why
Got
we
it.
put that repeater right there is because you will have the occasional baby zombie that'll be a zombie jockey will make its way into this chamber. This
Got it.
keeps them from getting out and gumming up everything else.
Got it.
So yeah, right. You mentioned observers. All right, so this is where we get to the observers part.
I'm curious, the upside down stairs, those are for, I saw two of them, one over here where the glass is.
So the one is to waterlog. Here. So the one here is just so you can waterlog, and it counts as a solid space and keeps water flowing out of it. That's
Got
the water flow. The reason the one down here is so this glass pane doesn't attach to it.
Oh,
Because this is where all your items and XP gets flushed out.
yeah. Very cool.
So then your observers go here. Then you put a solid block behind it. Right there and right there. And then you put redstone in each one of these corners, and then it'll start running. So what I highly recommend is a Trident with Impaling 5. That speeds it up because that'll kill the drowned in one hit. You don't have to. I mean, honestly, with how slow this farm is, I always use Impaling 5. I don't know how much of a difference it would actually make if you just had a standard Trident here. But watch.
Yeah. You ready? You ready for the zombies to come?
Yeah, they'll start killing, and then at this point here, so like the rest is just at this point redstone wiring to be able to turn this thing on and off. But
Oh, right.
let me get this chamber closed up, and then if you just want to watch it run for a little bit,
Yeah,
I can throw a hopper in there if you want, or if you just want to see what happens, go ahead.
Now, down here, is that where you throw the hopper in a chest?
Yeah, so this flush out point here, and then if you want the XP, you can keep it. If you wanted to set up ice flows, like an ice flow with a water stream going back to your AFK point, you could.
Yeah.
But at this point, you're at item collection. What I have tended to do here is just let me get this. I'll throw a hopper down with a campfire on top of it to destroy the XP and just start collecting.
Oh, I see. By the way,
we can do that.
I do really like the this Trident Killer. I like the flesh system.
Oh,
because I'm always throwing mine carts with hoppers underneath these things to collect items.
Yeah, like credits to him. He put a lot of thought and time into this. So I'm not gonna say that I did not come up with this. This was all like this whole thing was all Golden Helmet. Like as far as this trident. It works. It works with this farm so well. Like, I wasn't
Right.
gonna reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
Let me.
Dark Meteor says we could use a .mc structure file to export copies of the farms that we make. I agree. I've been meaning to start doing that. So yeah, this might be the first one that we do that for, or that I do that for.
Yeah, I remember that. Who was it for the mangrove farm? It was Wabernick. Like,
Yeah.
built that whole thing up.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, kudos to that guy.
There we go.
He. And then I will throw this here. So at this point, like, that's it. Like, it's doing its thing. And if you sit there and watch, so the only downside of this farm is shutting it off. So you got to use a sticky piston on the observer,
Right.
and have the red line run it back to the AFK point. But like, this is it.
Good. I'm
Like,
trying
it
to
is now
see-
doing this thing.
My so we threw the campfire up there. Nothing's making it down to the chest. Come look where it's getting stuck. We're getting stuck right here.
That's because I'm an idiot and I messed that up.
You mean a genius. You're a genius. That's what you meant to say.
And there we go. I was
Okay.
off by 1 block.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, because I put the campfire with the stick. So yeah, that should all be. So yeah, like, you could move that whole thing over. My bad, but
What
that
does our
should
campfire do again?
destroys the XP.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And just saw a creeper fall to its death. So watch, come over here.
All right.
So what I found is the optimal AFK spot here is on the same level as the 3rd level, right? So in this case, 171.
Okay.
And yep. Stand here on these 4 blocks.
Cool.
And then what will end up happening is this farm will be in the one split, the other one over there would be in the other, and then it just does its thing.
Very cool. So-
And the only thing we're messing up right now is I don't have a looting 3 sword that I'm holding.
Oh, well, hold on. I think I can handle that.
So if you're gonna do it, then you need to be the one holding the trident. So we'll go pick that trident up and then, throw it down or throw down.
I'm giving everybody a looting 3 sword. Hold on.
All right then. Well.
The right sword. Did that give you? Yep. And then enchant at a looting. Oh, you got to be holding the sword. Are you holding it?
Let me get it. Hold on here. Okay.
All right, let's see. Enchant. Let's go. Okay. There you go.
Yeah. All right. So now I'm holding it, and this is where you get max copper rates.
Very, very cool.
Just stand here and let it do its thing. So what I found is that once it's set up, each like total, you'll eat with both sides set up, you'll be making about 2.4 copper a minute.
That's
Just from this farm.
awesome. Well, I'm probably going too fast here. I'm just curious. So I'm gonna go down and see what we get. So we have a copper, tons of rotten flesh. Do you get tridents out of this thing pretty good?
No. So unfortunately, you don't get any. Converted
because they're
drowned will never
converted.
change.
Got it. Okay.
But here, let me. So at this point, I would also we're hurting ourselves here.
Right. So you would take that out. And
Yep.
then
And
the other
stand right
one
here.
the other one you said would be over here on this side. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically mirror image. The only difference is going to be the redstone with the mine carts. Because they don't want to go east, you have to drop it down a level for each level you shift over. But then you would build that exact same thing, and you can see them already. Like, just look at the farm.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, very, very cool. Let me do a quick fly around here. Guys, this is it. This is the copper farm. Uh, it Old Rusty spent weeks testing this thing, uh, figuring out the mob caps, all that crazy stuff, troubleshooting this thing, and we get, as you can see, copper. Old Rusty, remind these guys how much copper an hour do you get?
2.5 stacks once this is built on this side and on this side, and you would use this on top of your overworld drowned farm where you usually get about 300. So you'd be pushing 450 to 500 copper an hour with this fully thing plus a overworld for drowned.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, guys, thanks for joining us for this live stream. A big shout out and thanks to Old Rusty for doing this farm for us. And as always, thanks for watching.